All right. In the upper right, we have our Terran player, one of two, from the team GSL.
GSL Clide.
So there's that one fangirl in the audience. I don't know if it picks up on, I don't know if you guys can hear it in my mic, but there's one girl. All right, can Clide do it? We will find out. So he absolutely can, but will it happen this time? That's another question. In the bottom left, showing a very dominant Terran versus Terran in game number 1.
Players here.
Now. Yep. Ooh, look at this shot. How old is Ryung? Do you know?
He's pretty young.
Yeah, I think he's one of our younger players.
His age, though. I am not sure. You know, age is definitely something I don't keep much track of in StarCraft 2 because it simply doesn't matter.
No, it absolutely doesn't matter.
The StarCraft 2 industry isn't quite full of BSers who try to pretend it does. Like StarCraft
I know.
1.
I can't believe how many people are actually suckered into that. I remember I talked to these people.
He's too old, don't you think?
He's like, when you get older, your hands slow down. I'm like, okay, you're actually an idiot.
No, you just
like you actually just don't think for yourself. You know? All right. What's true, man?
I know.
I hate to be that blunt, but I'm like, you'll just believe anything you're told, won't you?
It makes me angry. You know, there's actually some of our best players that are our oldest players.
Yeah.
Look at
I think one thing that does come with
has been. Look at Nest's domination. It's actually insane to think otherwise.
Excuse me. Hope you're not getting me sick, Artosis.
Tasis, you're probably going to be sick. I'm so sorry. But you know what we can look forward to is by then I won't be sick.
All right. Well, that's all that matters, Artosis.
That's all that matters to me.
You know, after we had that little talk, for some reason I want to go watch the movie Speed.
Wow, that's a terrible idea.
Why?
Because it's a terrible movie?
No, man.
What about Speed 2 Cruise Control?
Oh, that movie. Oh, that movie's bad.
I don't think I ever saw that.
I think if I did, I probably blocked it out of my memory.
You should, too.
Like if I was abused or something, I'd just like, no, this doesn't exist anymore. Uh-oh. What is he doing, Artosis? Is he going to take a gold base?
Yeah, and
he's like, I'm just going to take
making a Reaper as well, so that's going to give him his map control so that he can't be scouted. Yeah, Reaper plus gold base is pretty darn strong. The Reaper is going to stop any SCUs from scouting, and he's going to be able to get that gold up. 2 more barracks are going up for Ryung. Breaking my heart, going Marines.
Well, the beauty of doing the Reaper out right away is just like this. He's going to be able to kill up every single SCV. All right, double refinery here for Ryung. A lot of this is just going to boil down to, will Ryung catch on to the Hidden expansion?
Yeah.
Because based off the information he sees, okay, I don't see any extra command center or anything like that. He might just go ahead and banshee rush me. He might like make turrets and get ready to defend. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, definitely. Possibility. Now the Reaper is going to come in. Might get an SCV here, which is really, really nice. 2 Marines, though, coming down. Reaper is driven out. By the way, Clide right now adding a couple barracks and getting combat shields. So it looks like we are going to see some Marine Marauder versus Marine Marauder. Clide is actually transferring 2 SCVs, by the way. That's a funny number.
I know, you think you'd send more.
Clide is a funny little duck, Tasteless.
Funny little duck.
Funny duck. That's like so funny to call someone a funny duck.
Actually, I don't think it's that funny.
I think it's hilarious, man.
It's not as funny as it is to call somebody a silly moose.
A silly moose. I saw a picture of a moose the other day that was like bigger than a car.
No,
I heard mooses get big, but
mooses are actually huge, man. Mooses actually kill people.
Yeah.
People don't know this. They're like, oh, it's a moose. And then it's like,
people actually kill themselves into mooses.
Yeah, but you can actually hit a moose with your car.
You know what's...
And moose like runs away and like actually your car's messed up.
Quite true. Well, we have these Marines walking out here, Tasteless, and if they find that gold base right away,
no,
like
does he think he just like is caught on instinctively?
I think I think that's exactly it. Well, when you see a Reaper, you got to remember all the games we've seen people go Reaper into expansion here.
Dude, I think this actually might be one of our shortest Terran versus Terrans yet.
Yeah, it very well may be.
I can only imagine what Clide is thinking. Clide's like, well, I guess I don't go on in this tournament.
Yeah, that's actually too bad, man. All right. Well, we do have the units coming back now. He does have combat shield on his Marines, but he has less of them. Reaper is helping out, though. SCV is being taken out. Oh, no. Clide.
Yeah, his control is just too good. I mean, even if he is to hold this up, looks like he barely will. The problem of the matter is that, or the fact of the matter rather, can't even talk right today, is that he knows about the gold base, so he's going to be having all of his attention on that gold base, attacking that over and over.
He's going to have to rally down there, and that's not a good place to be in Tasteless.
Ryung might be as deadly as a moose.
You know, funny thing about mooses, I come from New Hampshire, and there's actually a decent amount of mooses there, and like I have never seen one, but like infinity times when on the road with my family, they'd be like, oh my god, it's a moose, and they point and I can't see it. It's actually happened to me at least 15 times. They're like, it's a moose, look. They're like, Dan, look, it's a moose. Because they know that I want to see a moose so bad, and I always point this out that I never get to see one. Still haven't seen one. This is my life, Tasteless. I'm doomed to never see a moose.
Maybe you just have this like weird weakness that you can't actually see mooses.
Perhaps I live in reality and everyone else can only see ghost mooses.
I think what it is like
exist.
if I have to kill you, I'm going to have invisible mooses attack you.
Well, they don't have to be invisible. I won't be able to see
that's what I mean. They'll be invisible to you.
Well, they're not going to be able to get by my giraffe bodyguards, so I don't know what you think you're doing.
Well, here's what I might do is I might actually... You need to carry blankets with you and just throw a blanket over the invisible moose. Then you at least turn into like a ghost-looking moose.
Oh, my.
Like cut some eye holes in there. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, I got to say, Clyde's done a pretty good job of holding his position.
Yeah, he's still all right. The supply is very close. We do have 40 SCVs for Clide, 46 for Ryung. And that just comes from the fact that he lost a few in that attack. And in fact, Clide is really keeping up on his Marine count. He's actually ahead in Marines. It looks like both players are just going to go Marine Medevac. Now, of course, you don't make Marauders in this situation. Marines actually beat Marauders pound for pound, cost for cost.
Many Marines together, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like a Marauder versus Marine, obviously, it wins. But you don't want to be making Marauders. Marines build quicker. They have more damage per second output. Marauders do less damage against Marines, etc., etc. So we're just going to see Mass Marine versus Mass Marine. And a fun little factoid is that back when Marine King Prime was the only guy going Marines and Medevacs, Clide played against him. I believe it was Zelnar Cabruz was the game. And he went pure Marine, and he just way out macroed Marine King. He just slaughtered him, Marine versus Marine. So Clide definitely knows how to play it.
They've both sort of been forced into this position. I think they might have both ideally mech'd, but what happened was both, they found the gold base. One guy has to make Marines to defend. The other player feels pressure to make Marines because he wants to try to attack into that. Now, it looks like Clide is almost on the verge of getting that huge econ boost from that gold base.
Yeah.
He's like landing some mules there. He's remade the SCVs.
By the way, we have a beautiful sensor tower so that he doesn't have to be so close to the command center. He can get down there in plenty of time. Just really well done. Excuse me.
All right, we will have a drop here, and I think this is the best move for Ryung. Just because, obviously, Clyde's so focused on defending the gold base, he might not be as focused on his main.
Yeah, well... Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, I'm sick. And no, I'm not always sick. So many people...
Oh, I know. People are like, they're always sick. I'm like, actually, we're not always sick.
You gotta do something about that. It's like, well...
It's like, here's...
I mean, I live in Seoul, and I have a stressful job, so I'm probably more sick than I ought to be, but... There's not much
Someone's
I can do about it.
complain. Why does he get sick? I
live a healthy lifestyle, actually.
He actually takes his vitamins every day.
I do.
All right, we might have an engagement here. Bottom center of the map.
Ryung is adding some siege tanks.
Ryung, by the way, is still in the lead for supply by about 10 supply here.
Yep. And that's actually almost all in SCVs. It's 57 to 50. So, army-wise, they're very similar. Both of them adding in siege tanks in siege mode, which is going to help out a lot, but you got to be careful. Until you get a big number of them, they don't help out all that much. And, you know, one thing I'm a little bit worried about, Clide has to think about expanding really soon here, because his gold base is actually going to run out very quickly. In fact, he's already down to 4 patches.
All right, so to be honest, all he really needs to do is mine out that gold base and leave, because that's going to be one gold base that Ryung can't take. It's going to be almost impossible for Ryung to try to take the gold base of his, for his own on the upper left, because that's more of Clyde's turf. That's why right now Clyde's in a very difficult position. Just trying to defend this gold base. Looks like he's going to lose the medevac. Very nicely done by Clide. Now he probably knows, okay, some of his army's over there, so I might be able to move forward. Oh, is he going to commit to that?
Very interesting moves right now. He is in Watchtower territory. Clide controls that Watchtower. So, ooh. Clide just moved a tank into siege tank range. But anyways, really, this is very well played by both players. Both of them taking their third base at similar times. Of course, Clide's gold is going to run out so quickly, or he's going to have to take even another base pretty soon. Supply even at 166 all. Both missing a deep on 166.
All right, here we go. Stimming moving forward.
Clyde very good at this positional game against Ryung.
You know, I got to say, Clyde's actually doing a great job. I thought when that gold base was spotted that this game was probably going to end.
Yeah.
I just like that's normally how something like this would end up.
Well, Clyde did a great job getting his combat shields just so quickly so he could hold it off. Another thing I'd like to point out is that the gold on Ryung's side of the map is going to be gone. So unless Ryung can, if this does go super long, if Ryung doesn't get a great position up at Clyde's gold, then Clyde's just going to have more minerals.
Oh, nice! Going for it. Did you see that beautiful spread there?
Oh, wow. Ryung's siege tanks. Just a great job so far.
Oh, nice. Look, you see that small amount of Marines? He simmed forward, ran up, shot down the siege tank.
One with 4 hit points left. Oh, wow. Yeah, and he's going to go ahead and drop on that. Oh!
We actually just missed him, and he tried to drop on top of that.
Awesome.
And actually, you can see he's trying to stim and run forward to kill the siege tank.
Those siege tanks both have so low health, Faceless.
You'd think he would run forward now and do it, but looks like he's preoccupied.
You know, he's a little bit scared of actually doing that. Clide, by the way, is getting 2-2. His 2-2 is going to be done way before Ryung even starts. His armory is not even done yet. So that's actually gigantical. It's gigantuatory.
It is. Nice. He's now driving out the medevacs. This means the Vikings are going to have the ability to spot, which is going to force Clide into having to scan more than he'd like to. All right, nice by Ryung. Just coming here. Stims. He does take out the sensor tower, but is it too late? I mean, the gold base is basically mined out. He's taking out a dud expansion. Now we have an incredibly wide siege tank line.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
And Ryung is actually taking the gold during all this, which is really smart of him. You know, this is not a position that Clyde's going to be able to maneuver through easily. It's kind of a stalemate mode in the middle. Maxed out Ryung, 188 for Clide.
All right, here we go. Clide is going to try to move in. I don't entirely know that it's going to work.
His siege tanks, wow, Clide for the quadrillion Marines says, "What's up, Ryung?" Ryung says, "Not much. My Marines are all dead, though."
Well, he's just going to move in for the kill right now.
Well, this is going to be a hard position. You know, Ryung is going to be kind of stuck in space. Clyde is going to have complete map control for a bit.
You know, we never see Terran vs. Terran where it's split on this map specifically, left side, right side. Normally it's top versus bottom.
Yeah, it's generally more like that, but Ryung is really smart to realize that that's going to be a hard position to be in. Oh, sloppy by Clide, losing 2 siege tanks. Ooh, very nice move by Ryung there. Ryung still have about 9 supply.
And looks like his gold base was just now spotted.
Yeah, making it into a planetary. Smart move. That means Clyde has to bring siege tanks and kill it most likely. Unless he brings his whole Marine force. Clyde now maneuvering up through the map, realizing that he can get up that gold and kill it, which is going to be super, super important. Nice scans on his opponent's army.
Yeah, they're scanning exactly where the armies are. That's a sign of a player with really good instinct. All right, he's moving in here. He might get sandwiched, though.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary, man. I don't know why
siege tanks are in the back. Yeah, I think Clide might have.
Oh, look at this. He keeps moving. He let Ryung siege up and then move back. That was beautiful. That was really well done.
Well, now he's in a really good position.
Yeah, this is a pretty scary position.
Plus, well, Clide doesn't have anything else coming down here to help. He's going to try to target down these siege tanks.
Don't forget, it's 2-2 against 1-1 here. Clyde kicking some ass.
There are more medevacs, though, here. Actually, that was
wow. Mr. Clide.
Nice. Siege tank over here. Oh, I spoke too soon. Medevac comes up here to spot.
Well, right now Clide just continuing to push. Finally, 2-2 does finish for Ryung. By the way, Ryung does have a battle cruiser just popping out. So that's going to complicate things a little bit as well.
All right, he's moving in here. And if he can get this battle cruiser to stay alive,
Oh, man.
Oh,
he does kill
barely.
it off.
You know what?
GG.
Clide, all of a sudden, in the last second, managed to do that. Had he not gotten that position over there, in that very tough situation,
Well, that
he would have
Simmons
lost.
spread he did was really quite beautiful, you know.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
He hit while he had 2-2 and his opponent had 1-1. And that made quite a bit of difference.
It made Clide a bit of difference.
Oh, wow.
I just went there. You know, I think it was smart for him to try to move in and take Ryung out right away in that mid-late game position, because that was right when Ryung had secured his gold base. We saw Clide barely staying even there with Ryung when he had a gold base, an economic lead.
Oh, well.
Well,
Clide showing some power, tying it up 1-1. Next map is going to be Antigua.
Antigua's a great map to have this on.
Yeah, if they don't go mech here, I'll be really surprised.
Also, the center watchtowers are so important. If you have your center watchtower, or if you have the center watchtower controlled, then you can take a gold base and he can't.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's pretty big.
So it's going to be a pretty big fight to see who gets control of that early on. We have seen Ryung do a really good job on this map.
Oh, yeah.
TBT.
He knows how to use mech here for sure, Tastes.
He does. How you feeling, buddy? You still sick?
I'm still sick, yeah.
You know what, dude? I think somebody threw away my coffee. Remember I bought a coffee? I put it right here. I think somebody threw away my coffee.
I think you're right.
Well, looks like we're going to be going on to game number 3. Look at Ryung in this pose.
It's like a
He looks like he should be
statue.
eating, like grapes or something, you know? Getting some advice. Who's he getting advice from? You see him?
No, I can't.
Some coach went in there. Now, we're going to see how this game turns out. I do think Ryung should still win this, judging from our last 2 games. Well, game 1 was complete domination. Game 2, Ryung was behind.
To be honest.
And was still managing to
you may very well be right, but the first game was definitely a miscontrol of that first Banshee from Clide, or it would have been an even scenario.
Yeah.
And something like a single misclick can do that to you. So I feel like, the one long macro game they played, Clide crushed him. They had the same supply and everything, but Clide hit his upgrades, and I think as long as Clide goes mech, this is anyone's game.
Well, it's time. The game is loading. Artosis' nose is blowing. And this is the GSL Codes with Clide against Ryung. The winner moves on to the round of 8. Let's do this.